And welcome back. We have just gotten through the first half of the water stages, I believe, in Plants vs. Zombies. Now, we just unlocked the jalapeno, destroys an entire lane of zombies, and their only use is for this guy, the Zomboni. We've not encountered him yet, so we don't know what he does. Last guy we encountered was the Snorkel Zombie. Submerges to avoid attacks, only appears in the pool. Zombies don't breathe, they don't need air, so why does Snorkel Zombie need a snorkel? To swim underwater? Answer, peer pressure. Oh, I love it. Honestly, so if you read through all of these for both the zombies and the plants, you'll have quite a bit of giggle time, to say the least. Alright, so we're gonna go for a bit of a heavy hitter strategy here. Because, yeah, we'll throw in the jalapeno, why not? Show it off. Showcase it a bit. Yeah, that sounds good. We're going for a bit of a expensive strat, to say the least. Okay, so as always with these pool levels, you definitely want to have at least one row of sunflowers. At least. Well, yeah, at least. If you really want to, like, ace the pool level, you go for 2. But a lot of the time it's not that necessary. And once again, if you don't have that rake from Crazy Dave's shop, Potato Mine just does just as well. It's honestly really helpful for these early stage zombies. It's also good to be planting lily pads in advance, just in case you start getting swarmed from the pool and you can't handle it. And look at that, get another Potato Mine up just in time so that we can place the rest of our sunflowers. Now this is exactly why I choose Potato Mine every single time, when I can. And it's, to be honest, it's helped me prepare so much easier than any other plant has. And don't get me wrong, the rake thing from Crazy Dave's shop is good, but if you put the potato mines further down, the rake usually appears up near the closer end, so they start spawning the waves a little faster, which is why it's a little inconvenient, but the it still does pretty good wonders. Now, as you can see, we have fully wiped out all the zombies, and we're now just making money, so we can start popping down repeaters and obliterating anybody that comes in contact with anything we own. Alright, so this is pretty easy breezy beautiful. I've got my first exam coming up soon, I think. I don't really know, these are pre-recorded, so I can't exactly tell you when these will be released, but oh no, I would have already done my first exam by now, so go me. Man, it's so weird thinking about it like this, but yeah. I would have done my first exam for now, and depending on what part this is, I haven't started like going through them just yet, but depending on what part this is, I could be through my second exam as well. So here's hoping I did relatively well on those. I definitely don't think I would have finished my exams, but you know, here's hoping the first 2 went well. I will give you guys an update with the once I've pumped out a week's worth of these vids. So like once I've actually gotten through my exams and come to a final stop, so to speak, I will give you another Plants vs. Zombies video with a complete update on how I did, or at least how I felt. I don't think they actually tell me how I did. It's just either a pass or a fail. It doesn't actually give me my percentage or what questions I got wrong, which I think is a terrible idea. But yeah, that's what they do. They hide your scores from you. The person who did the test, they hide the scores from them. That seems bizarre to me. Alright, so we still haven't seen any of the Zomboni yet, or the Zamboni, or whatever you want to call it. But I do believe 2 lots of repeaters should be able to handle it. And here's our first test. So, if you don't know what the Zamboni does, essentially, it runs over your plants. So if you don't have strong enough firepower, it will just obliterate your plants. And we will see that, potentially, if I don't destroy it here. Okay, nope, 2 repeaters will do it. But alongside them comes the bobsled team, which will just spawn like 4 mediocre zombies in a bobsled that will attempt to ruin your day. But as soon as their bobsled starts hitting grass, it starts damaging itself. And then after that, it's just a bunch of weak guys in a bobsled. So, not too bad. And you cannot place anything on this ice, which is a major highlight. And for the jalapeno, well, I guess I can't really showcase it now, but the jalapeno essentially prevents that ice for staying too long, which I will showcase at the next Zamboni interval, whenever we get that. But for now, I think we're pretty set. Repeaters are dope, so I don't think we'll be losing anytime soon. So as you can see, this little back part of the Zamboni is what spreads the ice, but if you place a jalapeno, it burns the entire row, killing the Zamboni and burning away or melting away all of the ice. Which means we be doing fine. Just throw a couple insta-kills there for the water zombies. There's one. There's another. I don't actually know if I've showed off the Strangle Kelp. Well, if I haven't, that's... oh, Tangle Kelp. Tangle, of course. Why would it ever be called a Strangle Kelp? But there is another level down and dusted, and we unlock the Spikeweed, I believe it's called. Yep, Spikeweed pops tires and hurts zombies that step on it. And what do you know has tires? The Zomboni. Alright, so let's have a look. Applies ice, steam, and pressure to your plants. Toughness high. Special. Crushes plants, leaves a trail of ice. Often mistaken for a zombie driving an ice machine, the Zomboni is a totally different life form, more closely related to a space ogre than a zombie. Huh. Zombie bobsled team. These zombies appear in teams of 4, toughness low, each zombie. Bobsled toughness low. Special, only appears on ice. Zombie bobsled team worked hard to get where they are. They live together, eat brains together, and train together to become a cohesive zombie unit. Isn't that beautiful? Anyway, we just unlocked the Spikeweed, so we'll give it a shot. And, maybe we'll try Chompers Only again. It's always fun to try Chompers Only. Just to see if we can actually do it, you know? Gotta get my bestie, the potato mine, in there. Alright, let's see what we can do. So essentially we've got Chompers and hard removal only. The Spikeweed's gonna be our only DPS, to be quite honest. So we will see how this turns out. I've started putting in some challenges, like for future levels that I can think of. For example, when we get to the... well, actually, I won't spoil it for people that actually haven't played before. But to be honest, people that haven't played before probably aren't watching my vids. So, you know. But when we get to the last few levels of the game, I plan on using plants that shoot straight only. If you know what I'm talking about, then you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, then it'll be a surprise, and I haven't spoiled anything just yet. But you guys know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm referring to. Alright, so we've got a fairly good start here. I love how I said I'd do Chompers only, and yet I've planted potato mines and got DPS. You know what, that just went straight over my head, but primarily my DPS will be Chompers. I apologize for deceiving you. But from now on, Chompers will be my main fighting force. I promise you that. It's actually been a while since I've tried a Chomper strategy on a level that has, like, quite complex enemies. Because usually I only try them on ones where, It's like one of the first 3 levels of that stage, you know? Just because it seems rather easy at that point in time. You know what? I might start placing some spike weeds as well. Throw them in there, just a bit of light DPS at the start, whittling down any zombies that come too close. So essentially you'll see what the spikeweed does here. It can't be eaten by regular zombies. They have to step over it, and that's where it does its damage. Which is quite nice if you have a lot of them, but in some cases can be quite a pain because as it says, it pops tires, but those tires also pop it. I don't know if that makes sense, but essentially it's a one-use item if it's versing a tire, and if it's versing regular zombies, it's a regular item. So admittedly it doesn't deal too much damage, but it does deal half the amount of damage required to take out a regular zombie, which is decent-ish. Not amazing, by a long shot. But yeah, so if we plant 2 of these, we should be able to take out any regular zombies that show up. So for example, if I put that there, I think it should take it out before it even gets to the jumper. I think. Oh, we missed. Okay, so that guy's actually just one shot. Yep. So that was my bad calculations. But yeah, okay, so we need 3. 3 in a row to actually take him out. Or maybe some RNG, depending on if a zombie walks faster or slower than regular. Come on. Oh, he missed. There we go. Okay, so if we put, say, 3 of them at the beginning of each lane, that will take out all the regular zombies, as far as I'm aware. Coneheads it won't do a thing to be honest, they're really not that strong overall. But it deals just enough damage to take out all the weak guys. And it'll pop quite a few tires for us, so we won't really have to worry about them. Alright, now we just fill in the rest of the spaces with chompers. And we'll be golden. Huge wave of zombies approaches. That's fine, because none of the normal guys should survive. Put you there just to take out that submarine boy. Okay, so none of these guys should survive. None of the land walkers. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, that buckethead guy's definitely gonna make it, so should be fine with him, to be honest. Starts eating and then gets eaten. Yep, perfect. We'll place more lily pads there. I'll place another one there. And yeah, I think we've just about done it. Like, obviously we're nowhere near completing the wave itself, but we're definitely ahead of schedule. Because those zombies were delayed. So how do you guys feel about PvZ in general? Like, if you have played the game before, what's your favourite plant? And what's the most annoying zombie? And if you haven't played the game before, how do you feel about it so far? Honestly, one of my favourite games of my childhood. I'm sure I've said that plenty of times so far, but yeah. It's like the most iconic game for me personally. If you said name like a game that marked your childhood, I'd probably say Jak 3, but Plants vs Zombies would be up there. Also, if you haven't played the Jak and Daxter series in general, definitely give that a shot. It's an old series, but I believe it has been, what do you call it? It's been, not remastered. What do you call it when it's just been remade? No, it hasn't been remade, has it? It's been upgraded. It's been ported. It's been ported to PS4. I don't know about Xbox. I don't own one, but yeah, it's been ported to PS4. So definitely give it a shot. It's an old game, but bloody brilliant. The entire series. We got Jak and Daxter, Jak 2, Jak 3, Jak spelt J-A-K by the way, and Jak X, which is a racing game but still quite amazing, honestly. Probably one of the best racing games of its time. Okay, well, we're just about filling up the entire area, to be honest. Like, we've actually made too much money and handled these zombies too well, to be completely honest with you. Because, I mean, look at this. We're going to fill up the entire map with just chompers and spikeweeds. No, no, stop! Ah, oh, you ruined it. We're almost there. Come on, give me something. Thank you. You bite his head off. And then we might be able to squeeze these guys in. Come on, I want to fill up the entire map. I think that'd be dope. I probably should have protected those two. Those are both two very vulnerable ones chewing. Come on, one more sun, one more sun. Hey, there we go. Alright, we literally can't place anything else. Oh, but if there's Zambonis, we will have to replace the spikeweeds. But yeah, if you ever wanted to know how to beat pool level 3-7, just meme it. Just completely meme it. We will have to replace this guy, sadly. Oh no, we won't, because the spikeweeds killed the weaker guy. We will have to replace these guys. Which is quite sad. But we're good. There we go. Little bit of maintenance with this strategy. But we got it going. Oh, we got our first tire. See? Pops the spikeweed and the tire, killing the Zamboni instantly. And then we can just replace it because it's not that expensive. But yeah, honestly, this is a fairly decent strat. I love the spikeweed, just the fact that they can't do anything about it and they're forced to walk over it is quite brilliant, in my opinion. Okay, okay, I get it, I get it. You want to be eaten. Oh, oh, bad move, bear. Just fill in the row in front first. Be a lot easier on me. Gotta keep on top of everything that's happening. Some rows are getting a lot more attention than others. I don't know if you guys are seeing that, but feels like these top rows aren't doing much at all. They're just getting like the pathetic weak zombies that just die before they even get a chance to be eaten. But I'm not complaining. Our strategy is hanging in there. And thanks to these pathetic zombies taking their time, gives my chompers really long time to eat, which they desperately need. Okay, so one of you is going to get eaten anyway, so we may as well just preemptively dig you out and chuck you back up. Just to save time on the cooldown. Ah, almost had it. Let's go on then. Get eaten by that one. Get replaced. Alright. And we are easily ready for the final wave. Get spikeweed ready, because I know Zamboni's got to come out for the final wave. There it is. Get popped. Get replaced. Oh, they're beating me to it. No. Yoink. Okay, all the regular zombies are dealt with. It's just this one guy, and he's gone. Alright. We have unlocked the Torchwood. 175 sun. Peas that pass through it turn into fireballs. Now this is a dope plant. The only thing it doesn't work well with is the snow pea. If snow peas go through the Torchwood, they turn into regular peas, which kind of defeat their whole point. So, Torchwoods is only buffing pea shooter, the repeater, and the 3-peater. So, considering that's the case, we'll also have these because we are encountering the Dolphin Rider zombie. And essentially, a little bit of a spoiler, they're pretty much the pole vaulting zombie, but in the water. So, we shall see how this goes. Level 3-8. And all we've got are regular pea shooters. Well, not regular, but you get what I mean. Regular shooters of peas. Yeah, that's better. Also, if, like me, you forget to put your potato mine on, but you do have a squash, squash works just as well. A little bit more expensive, but it's not too bad. It doesn't hinder your sunflower production that much. You can easily keep on top of it. And it's got the same recharge rate, I'm pretty sure. Slow, but the zombies come out fairly slowly in the beginning in the first place, so you should be all right. Plus they don't have to recharge, so they can just go baller. Right, I think for this one, I'm going to be placing 3-peaters all throughout the back here, this main area, instead of sunflowers. And then along these lines I'll be placing repeaters and regular pea shooters. So we'll stick with pea shooters for the first part, just because it's a cheap option to line up every single row. Just for now, until we start to build up bigger bank. Regular pea shooter won't be able to handle that, so we will enforce a torchwood, which turns the peas into fireballs, as it says, and they will now light the F up out of this guy, making it deal quite a lot more damage, but obviously not enough, so we will stop him from eating that. Should have played the torch. Should have placed the torchwoods a little bit faster there, which I think will actually take this guy out now instead of whiffing. Okay, we're a bit slow on the repeaters, but that's just due to the fact that we haven't got 2 entire rows of sunflowers, which is understandable, but I think in the end it will be worth it, because we will absolutely shred with these torchwoods. Completely and utterly. So just for now, considering there's no water plants in, or water zombies in play, never mind, spoke too soon. Alright, let's go for a repeater. Or a 3-peater, sorry. Been holding it off for a bit too long, and it is about time that we hurried up and did something with them. Alright, so there you go. And considering the repeater splits into 3, it will be very vital for us to get torchwoods in all 3 lanes, just to maximize the damage. Okay, we will throw down the Tangle Kelp there, just so we can work on our setup a bit more. But for now, I think we're doing quite all right. Throw down a second repeater, so that we can buff the weaker lanes, and then we'll throw in... I keep calling it a repeater, 3-peater. Alright, that is the dolphin zombie. You want to place something right in front of it, just like the pole vaulting zombie, and then it gets slowed down. Alright, simple enough. Just a pole vaulter in the water with a dolphin. Sadly still gets destroyed, but what are you gonna do? Alright, so as you can see, we've got repeaters in... Yes, it was repeaters. Repeaters in these outer lanes where the 3-peaters can't reach. And then we've got torchwoods in just about every other lane to help with the damage output for said lanes. So, once we get one more sun, Oh, we don't actually need it. But we will start lining up a bit more of the three-peaters. Throw you down there. Hop, skip, and a jump. Big miss there, boy. And now that we've got the torchwood up, you shouldn't even get close to eating it. Throw down torchwood there. And now we just need one more, and then we can stockpile on repeaters and three-peaters. And honestly, don't feel shamed about digging up your plants. Sometimes it's the best strategy to give it another shot, you know? Like, if you've got a pea shooter way in the back that's just not carrying as much as you'd like him to, dig him up, swap him with a repeater. If you've got the sun to do it, you may as well. It's very efficient, and nobody will blame you. Okay, we've got dolphins either side. We will strangle him, just so we get a bit more of the firepower going through. Oh, don't eat it, don't eat it. Oh, you ate it. That's terrible. Alright, admittedly this defense was really sloppy, but we got through it in the end, and we unlocked the Tall Nut. Make your jokes while you can. Heavy-duty wall that cannot be vaulted over. So, if someone like this, or someone like this, attempts to vault over it, they will fail. It is highly useful, and I definitely recommend you using it on the rest of the water levels. Honestly, it's not that great outside of the water levels. Will repeater be enough? Yeah, we've got enough single target damage to handle a repeater only build. Alright, so I'll demonstrate what the Tall Nut is like as soon as I get a bit of a setup going here. Man, they're like, when it comes to PvZ2, I think the only thing they have going for them is the plants. The plants are very complex, and they've got a wide variety of each type. There's like 400 different types of sunflowers, or at least sun-generating plants. There's like 12 times more pea shooters, or types of pea shooters, ones that shoot like electric peas that zap zombies nearby, ones that shoot fire peas that also warm up nearby plants, because sometimes your plants can get frozen, which is a completely BS mechanic, but they put it in the game for some reason, so, you know. Can we do this real quick? I think we might pull it off. It might be one of those situations where he starts eating into it and then explodes, but I don't rightly know. Anyway, we shall see. Going back to our 2 full rows of sunflower strategy, just because it's a good one, let's be honest. And then we will put our first repeater down, and then finish off the rest of our sunflowers. Alright, so from here on, we should be quite dandy. All it takes now is a little bit of time. A little bit of time, a little bit of effort. 100% skill. Well, not really. But you just need to know what you can and can't verse. It also helps to know exactly how long it takes for the potato mine to charge, but that's besides the point, because really you only need to fend off the first couple zombies with it. Other than that, you should be fine. But yes, I will be showing off the Tall Nut. I will be placing rows of them here, starting off with here, just because I feel like the pole vault zombies aren't too bad compared to the dolphins, because the dolphin zombies love to, I think they go a little bit faster. Now that was a misplaced, but it's not going to matter too much for now, simply because I planned on putting an extra row of repeaters there anyway. And it should hold off fairly well, despite being one space closer to the zombies. Okay, so we've almost got protection for every single row now. Just one more, and then we can start working on layering up. Now, usually when it comes to pool levels, if I am using tall nuts, I will only use them for the pool section. Because let's be honest, the pole vault zombies can be tricked by pretty much 99% of these. You just place a potato mine in front of them and they're just like, oh, I need to jump over that. It's not armed yet, but who knows? Could be. So, yeah. And if you don't know what I mean by that, I'll show you right now. Because I'm sure they'll come. Right, so here comes a pole vault zombie. Place a potato mine. They just get baited completely. I dug that up there because it was going to get eaten anyway. So I just saved it from being eaten to death by... I like to say I replanted them in my front yard. But obviously it doesn't show that. It's just like when Pokemon faint after being hit with a fireball, you know? They just fainted. Don't worry, bro. They just fainted. We mean death. Death doesn't exist. Pick that up. Alright, why not? I'll try and showcase what a tall nut does. We should be able to showcase it here, because the bucket head's protecting him. So this pole vaulting zombie will attempt to leap over, but he will get stopped, making a comical smacking sound into the tall nut, proceeding to make everybody laugh, and then it just starts eating away because, you know, it's still hungry for brains and murder and destruction. And so, another good combo. They do reference this in the actual descriptions of the plants themselves. I'm not sure if it's for the chomper or for the walnut, but they do say that they make a really good combo. But at the same time, so does walnut or tall nut and spikeweed. You place them right there. Spikeweed can still hurt him the entire time that he is eating away at the tall nut. Man, I feel like a lecturer. I'm just kind of like feeding off information as I go along through this. If I'm talking too much about stuff like that, please do let me know. But obviously this is pre-recorded, so it'll be a bit late. Sorry. But yeah, we've essentially got a strategy good enough to destroy this entire game at this point. Well, there is a couple zombies that would screw us over here, but they don't appear on the pool levels, so we're good. Place our final tall nut. And bada bing, bada boom. We have officially made a very strong defense. Now, big difference, because I was playing a bit of PvZ2 today on my iPad, and big difference I noticed is that a lot of the times, if I'm playing PvZ2, I will start off with 2 rows of sunflowers, quickly realize my defense is still pretty weak, and that if I push forward anymore, it's going to be even worse, and then I will destroy 1 row of sunflowers because I'm so rich, and then I will replace that with extra damage. That's how difficult PvZ2 can be. You have to sacrifice your money to start dealing higher amounts of DPS. And honestly, now that I'm actually playing through it, PvZ2 isn't as difficult as I remember. Once you get the right strategies going, and you know which levels to farm to get the good upgrades for your good stuff. Like, don't get me wrong, none of my plants are level 10, which is like the max level, I think, or 20 or something. But either way, there you go, there's a dolphin getting stopped by a tall nut. Either way though, once you get the right plants and the right strategy going, you are pretty good at the game. If you're good at the game, you will be able to handle it. And if you're really good at the game, you'll be able to micromanage your way through the entire game with level 1 plants. I am not that person, but I have seen that person on YouTube before, and goddamn, that's crazy. That is just crazy. Not getting a single damage buff on any of your plants, managing to make it through the whole game, that's just beastly right there. Anyway, we're just about done here. Wanted to get 2 Tangle Kelps up in time, but that doesn't matter. Tangle Kelps, though, are not a plant that the dolphin zombie can jump over. Funnily enough. I don't know why that's the case. It can jump over other plants that are just straight up aquatic, but it does not jump over the tangle kelp, which confuses me a bit, but obviously not too much. Symmetry! Okay, we got it there in the end. And down to the final level of the pool, the backyard. Hello, we heard you were having a pool party. We think that is fun. We'll, well, be right over. Sincerely, the zombies. Alright, so once again, 10th level of every stage is just a straight up conveyor belt. We will try our best to obliterate you kind of thing. The only bad thing about these stages is a lot of the times they will just give you lily pads, which by no means is a bad thing, but can be a little awkward if you are actually missing out on some real DPS. Okay, so we've almost got one thing for every row. We do need some sort of insta-kill though, because this conehead guy is getting a bit close. Okay. A couple fireballs might work. Tall nut placement back there is probably not going to be the best of things. Let's go there. So, oh, there we go. So I don't really mind using my removal right now, considering I do have a couple spikeweeds down at the moment. And I will in fact put up 2 tall nuts right there. You know what, maybe I'll move that closer. Okay, so I believe we are going to be doing quite well. We can save that jalapeno, just because we're not doing too badly right now. Another 3-peater down, and we've got all lanes covered fairly well. No, we'll save that for a lily pad. Yeah, do something like that. Okay, and I think we've pretty much just nailed this. If yeah, I honestly can't think of a way they could make this level more difficult. Like, I mean, obviously, boatload more zombies, but honestly, it's quite tame for one of these levels, to say the least. This music kicks. So obviously we are getting our torchwood set up. I made a mistake here by putting them too close, because I know for a fact that we can afford to put them closer, or closer to the zombies I should say. Now the only problem is we don't have any tall nuts in the way for potential dolphin zombies, so we may have to use a tangle kelp that we just got, but it doesn't look like they're coming anytime soon, and to be honest, all these flaming balls of fire is probably enough to stop them anyway. So now it's basically just a money collecting simulator. Get drowned. You too. Oh, there's another one of you. That should be fine though. Yep. Gone before he even reaches it. Shouldn't even be worried. Money collecting simulator. Should be... Yes, we can place that. I need more lily pads. For once. Usually this game mode only gives me lily pads, but for once I actually need more. Dig up those, make room for more 3-peaters. Oh, no, nowhere near. Okay, we are kicking this fairly well, and no, before you guys ask, the torchwood cannot double light a ball on fire, so you can't have like a extra lit P that you will see now. See, nothing changes. Still does the same amount of damage. Still is the same flaming P. Damn, honestly, there's no reason for me to place Tangle Kelp. Thank you. I know I don't need these defenses in, but it's just nice to have them, you know? And you know what, I'm just placing these so close that they're probably going to get run over. Yep, that's fine. Bang, bang. Get out of here. Alright, now all we're looking for is just 3 Peters now. I was going to say tall nuts, but that problem was just solved. No, we're solved now. And look at all this. We've got 6 jalapenos, so the final wave we can just line them all up. Absolutely destroy all zombies of all existence. Because I'm pretty sure there's nothing that will actually survive that. Another 3 Peter. I don't know why I'm focusing them in the middle. The middle's the last thing that needs buffing. Squash for funsies. Oh. Oh, that's a shame. Good thing we have an extra. Okay, so we did have to use one of our jalapenos, very sad, but to be honest, all the rows that have 3 Peters in them probably don't need protection anyway. So we'll just use it on all the land rows, and this guy's the only guy alive because he's stealthing it, and then just obliterated. Alright, so that is the end of the daytime water levels. Wink wink, nudge nudge, guess what's next? You'll find out. When was the last time we got a zero cost card, huh? Wink, nudge. Anyway, Sea Shroom, aquatic plant that shoots short-ranged spores. This card is absolutely useless. The Puff Shroom is amazing because it recharges quickly. This card does not. Anyway, my short rant is over. I'm sure it'll continue in the next video anyway. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Stay safe, stay isolated, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.